This is Chamber Chat on Chamber Channel 3 and 117.2, brought to you by Mansmith's Pharmacy, where your care is their only concern.
This is Chamber Chat, brought to you by Mansmith's Pharmacy, and I'm Deb Height. Today we're visiting with Terry Chamberlain, who is commander of the VFW here in Emmitsburg. And welcome, Terry.
Good morning. Good morning. Another great day out there for the heat.
Oh, yes, it's nice. We're finally getting some spring.
Well, it's good summer, I would say.
Yeah. Speaking of spring and summer, we're just a couple of weeks away from the Memorial Day weekend.
Yep.
And the VFW has some plans for that day.
Yeah, we've got some plans that we try to do every year on Memorial Day. First off, of course, would be the wreath laying at the lake down at Soper Park. And then that will start at about 9:15. We'll march from Bethany Lutheran Church down to the lake. The program will begin there. The band will play Anchors Away, and then we'll have 3 volleys fired by the firing squad. And the ladies auxiliary take over after that, and they'll lay a wreath on the lake for the memorial of the passing of the veterans that have for World War I. And then the band will play America the Beautiful, and then all participants will be dismissed from there, and we'll head to the cemetery, East Lawn Cemetery, south of town. The memorial will continue from there. We'll have the everybody getting set up, get ready to go. Ron Hersham will be the announcer for the day. We'll have a opening ceremony, and then from there they'll take it to the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, and then they'll have Memorial Day services starting with the pastor. And right now we're still getting things put together, so we're not quite sure who's going to be there for our pastor, nor are we quite sure yet of our special officer or NCO that's going to be talking about Memorial Day per se.
Our speaker for the day.
Our speaker for the day, that's correct. Ron will go through the different flags or different laying of the wreaths from then on. We'll have a firing squad of 3 volleys again, and then the band will play taps, and then from then on we'll have another prayer by the pastor, and then a few words from Ron. Then we'll go into the ceremony of laying of each wreath on the cross just in front of everybody to the north of the memorial statue that's already there, and that will be from the wars that we've had, placement from the 1776 war all the way up to the present, to the Iraqi and Afghanistan war that we've been doing. And from that point on, when we get done with that service, we'll have a speech by our guest speaker. We'll have another prayer, and then we'll be dismissed from there and go right directly to the VFW, and we'll have a little lunch, little snack type thing. So
you have a full morning plan then?
Full morning. In fact, we'll be starting at 6 a.m. laying of the flags out at the cemetery. And all VFW members who would like to do that, please be out there. And anybody else that likes to help, come on out. We'll be out there about 6 a.m. and we'll start putting the flags up for the day then. And they'll stay up most of the day.
It's quite a sight to see
it
all
is.
the flags flying.
It is. Very nice.
It's a very poignant moment at that time.
Yeah. And then we'll also, around that, either the day before or that morning, we'll be laying the small flags on each of the soldiers that we know that are out there laid in the cemetery.
Well, each year we lose a number of veterans from the past. This year, I think, don't they have a list every year?
Yes, yeah. Ron will be naming that list also during the ceremonies that we have before we get really started into the program, per se, of who's passed away. And I must say, of all the funerals we've done from last year and even toward this year, per se, but last year specifically, I think it's over a dozen, if not more, that we've had to have lost our veterans from World War II, Korea, and some of the Vietnam too. So
there aren't many World War II veterans left.
No, there isn't. No, not very many at all, from what I've been understanding. And the flight that we just had, there's a flight out of Fort Dodge that had Bushy Creek had a flight to Washington D.C. They just came back here a little bit ago. I think they left last weekend, I believe, and came back. And they have another flight coming in September. And they have another flight that's going to be going on next year now, too, that they've finally set up. So that's for all the Korean veterans, the World War II veterans, World War I veterans. If anybody still wants to go, they can get a hold of me. I have the number, or they can contact Fort Dodge directly then and get the information.
That's a flight to Washington,
To Washington, D.C., yep.
And to the Veterans
Memorials. They see Arlington Cemetery, changing of the guard. They see all the memorials that are there, Lincoln Memorial, Veterans Memorial, Korean War, and then the new one that's up there, World War II, that they just made here not too long ago. They see that too. So,
well, it's something that we certainly don't want to forget. And the longer it's been, there's always that danger of history not being taught, or you know, and people just being totally removed from what veterans have gone through in order for our freedom here. So it's very poignant. I'm so glad that you have that service. When I was in high school, we always got to be in the band.
Oh yes, the band would be there too. The high school band would be there this year, rather than the junior high, because we're the middle high school. So we're going to go to the high school band this year. So it's very accommodating for us down there.
Wonderful. So then following that weekend, after the festivities for Memorial Day, things will slow down a little bit, and then we're going to have our chamber chat.
Open house?
Not a chamber chat, a chamber coffee. All these C's. The following weekend.
Yep. Friday the 31st, we'll have chamber coffee at VFW. It'll be an open house to everyone to see our new kitchen that we just got through doing and been using now for a little while. But we did spend, thank you for the grant for the casino out here, spend quite a bit of money to redo that whole kitchen in the back to be kind of upgraded to what we need to get facilities to use throughout the year from now on, and anybody else that wants to come in and use it is really nice. Those that have seen it, I'm sure they've commented on it tremendously, but those that have not, please come on down. We have a very, very nice upgraded kitchen now, and it's something to be we are very proud of. So.
You should be. I've seen it. It's very, very nice. Yeah, and when I was there, it was so nice and clean. I wish mine at home was quite that. Yeah. Oh, I was going to ask about your bingo.
Oh, yeah, bingo's doing very well. I think our sponsorship with when we did the chamber chat and then doing the Rolodex on MediaCom, I think that helped a lot. We're having a very good turnout.
Good.
Our money is the same. We've still got our prize game that we're doing, the 5 envelopes and the special ball at the beginning of the play. That's the number that you win on for that game. And it's just for the packets only. It's not for any of the special games, but just for the packets. And if you bingo on that number of that game, you still get that game number or game winnings for that game. Plus you get a chance at 5 envelopes. And in those 5 envelopes, it's anywhere from $20 to $100. And we don't know what it is. Larry sealed them all up, so we have no markings on them or anything that way. And they get to choose, after they win that game with that special number, that specific envelope that they want, and that's their earnings over and above the game that they won. So.
Well, I'm glad you're having success with it.
Yep, doing very good.
Very good. Well, let's go over those dates and times again for Memorial Day.
27th of this May, starting at 9:15 in the morning. We'll assemble just at the Bethany Lutheran Church at 9 o'clock, and then the band will be there. We'll march down to the lake in front of the flag there. We'll have a little memorial. After that, we'll then go back out to the cemetery at East Lawn, south of town, and we'll continue with the ceremonies there, sending of the colors and the sending of the wreaths over the crosses for all the wars that we've had. We'll have a speaker out there for that time frame, and after that's done, we'll then continue and go to the VFW for a small brunch that the Ladies Auxiliary is putting on for us. So.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you very much for organizing that.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much for letting me speak today.
You bet. And we thank you for joining us. This has been Chamber Chat, brought to you by Mansmith's Pharmacy, where your care is their only concern. Thank you.
This has been Chamber Chat on Chamber Channel 3 and 117.2, brought to you by Mansmith's Pharmacy.